Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. And like I said, today's class will entail two things. The first one will be we finishing up the testing script we were writing yesterday, and all the encountered bugs we saw yesterday was a good thing, like I said. So it builds you up for the ability to debug your code and all of that. So I'll share my screen and just continue um, the testing scripts that we were working on, and from there we would just continue. So here's the contract we were working on yesterday. It's a library contract, and I'll do my best to be very fast to finish this test script we are writing so that we can have enough and ample time to do the classwork I have prepared, which is to write a token contract. So notice that I already fixed the library trait and I implemented it for the library contract. And just to show that everything still works normally, I am just going to cargo test it. And yeah, we see our test is running perfectly. So from yesterday's class, we have implemented the test initialize. And from the test initialize, we were able to see that, okay, we have initialized this vector book. And the vector book means that basically, after the vector book is created, the length of the books in the library should be 0. That's exactly what we tested, and we asserted that it should be 0. Now, coming to today's class, where we will continue writing this test add books. So we wrote the test to actually initialize the contract and also to add a book. Then we also created a book and we added it to the list. Then, just to be sure that everything we did was working and it was stored into or inside the library, we checked the length of the vector, and checking it here, we see that it is actually correct, which is 1. Now we are going to increase this test and then see, what if we add another book and another book and another book? What then happens? So right now, we're going to just add this. Okay. I'm just going to add this assert equal. And we're just going to use a different function we've created. We use books.count just to be sure. Count. Then do we have count here? Okay, count books. We're going to use count books. Yeah. Books.count books. What's the problem now? Why not? Let me see that list books. Okay, you know what? Let's return this. Oh, that was a mistake. This is meant to be client.counts. Okay. And so to count the books, it's literally going to give us the length just to show that, okay, this is a different method and we have already implemented the function before. So we're going to cargo test and we are going to see that it's working here. So the next thing we're going to do now is to add another book. So adding another book, we are literally going to say add another book. We're going to see if this book actually adds up. We're going to call the client.add book. And inside the add book, we have the title of the book. We're going to use a symbol shop. And inside the title of the book, we're going to name it Late. Then the author of the book, we are also going to name it Queen. Then the year the book was published, we are going to name it 2078. We are going to add that up. So now, okay, we didn't add the semicolon there. So now we're going to test if our book actually increased or it didn't increase. We're going to say clients.count books. We're going to count our books, and now our books should be should be two, I mean. So we're going to run our tests, and yes, our test passed because our book is now 2, and that has successfully added to the chain, as you can see using this add book. So that works perfectly. And so the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to test the remove book. So you notice that I'm just trying to be fast so that we will have more than enough time to actually do the classwork that we have on ground today. So for tests, we're going to name it test remove book. Test remove book. Remove books. So it's just literally going to be the same thing. Start with your let env equals env default. It's nice when you write it over and over and over and over again, so it sticks to your brain. Contract ID. But that is so nice for me to just copy it, but I won't do that, so you don't do that. When you can then just copy for it. But doing this will literally help you. So all of this would stick to your head. So the client, we're going to create the library contract client. I'm going to call it new. And inside of it, you would have env and you have the contract ID. Contract ID. And yes, the first thing we want to do definitely is to initialize it. And then we want to also add book. So to add the book, we are just going to add the same books we've added before. And these books, first one was Rust, and then the second one, Symbol Shorts by Ayo, and let's see, 1983. So we're going to do the same thing. You know what? Let me just copy this and do this. So the next one, we will change this to Onion, like I made mention now. Okay. The book name, we'll name it Blade, then by Onion, and then we would have the year, 2078. Okay. So now we've initialized the contract, and then we've also added books to the contract. So obviously, the book we want to remove right now would be any of them. So I choose to remove the first one, that's Rust. So all I need to do is client.remove, and then have this symbol short, and under it we would have Rust. And so I have removed it. So normal, at this point of code, line 54, you are meant to have 2 books in it, but you are going to check the length of the books now. You are going to see. So let's check. So the first thing is we want to assert that the length of the library is now 1. So for that, we would say client.count books. Then this time it is already 1. And then the next thing we want to also assert is that the book we actually remove is the one we remove. We're going to say assert. We're going to create the book, and let's do that here actually. I'm going to say let books equals client.listBooks. Client.listBooks. And with that, we're going to have the book. And now we're going to say books dot, We're going to try to get the book if it's still there. Get position 0. Then we try to unwrap it. Dot unwrap. Dot unwrap. Dot title. Oh, we didn't add C here. Dot unwrap. Dot title. So we want to see if it is still there. But rather, what we should get at this point is the other book. So at this point, the only book inside there should be Blade. So let's try to see. So it should be Blade that's there. So if we unwrap it and check for Blade, it should be there. Okay. You might be missing a string literal. Where are we missing it? So we are trying to unwrap it. We said books.get, and then we wrote unwrap.title, and then we used assert instead of assert equal. And so with that, we want to see if, this is the first book there. But now that we have removed this Rust book, what should be left there should be Blade. Just to be sure that everyone is still following me. Okay, great. So what we have left there is Blade. All right, so let me see. Why is this having problem? It's meant to be dot register, right? Dot register. Okay. So now the book that is meant to be the first one after removing the first one has to be Blade. So we need to run our test and see if it works perfectly. Perfect. So what we have just done shows that we can actually remove book and add book. So the next thing we are going to do now is to test our find book function. So let's just write the test. Our time is really running out. And for that reason, I would have to go faster. Test find books. So for this, I'm just going to copy this, obviously, just for our time. At your own time, while learning it, it's important you don't copy the code. So the next thing we're going to do is obviously to initialize the contracts, and everything happening here would follow. So after initializing the contract, we can find specific books. So let's try to find the book, and then let book equals, they would say client dot find book. So we try to find the book, and we find the book by the book title. So let's find the Rust book. What exactly is inside that book? Let's get the detail of the Rust book. So see it as Rust. And let's unwrap it. So we're going to unwrap it because it's going to return as an option element. So now we've unwrapped this number. So the next thing we want to do is we want to assert that everything about this book is correct. So first of all, we want to assert the book title. The book title, book.title is actually equal to this symbol short, and Rust is the book title. We also want to assert that the author of the book is Ayo. So let's assert that book.author. So symbol short Ayo. Then lastly, the last thing inside of it, we want to assert that book dot year is actually the same year. So just going to put that 2018. Okay, no. The year was 183. 183. Okay. So where are problems coming from? Okay. Okay. Let's remove this. Okay. Let's remove this. Okay. And what's the problem for this one? Let's remove this thing. There was never need to borrow something we are just creating here. So we run our test, cargo test again, and yeah, everything is working perfectly the way we want it. So the test is this fast because I already know everything we want to do in the test. Testing your smart contracts, you might need much more rigorous knowledge, much more rigorous testing phase. It's not something you just do this fast. I mean, you would have to think of all the implementations and all the use cases, all the business logics, and you could write so many assertion tests for just one function. Although, as I mentioned before, this is a very, very simple contract. I just re-implemented what we have done before, just to show that anything can be done using the Soroban smart contract. So I would any question anybody have concerning this now. Does anyone have any question? Or is everyone still following up with me? Is everyone still following up with me? Can I get a thumbs up to show everyone is still following up with me? Okay. Okay, great. So now we've used so much time, but the little time we have, this is what we want to do. I would not be doing the solution today, obviously. I want you all to try your best to do this. For some that have created the ERC20 token on EVM, they understand how easy it is to just import and use the Open Zeppelin. But how then would you do this? Well, I won't be giving you any clip for now until it is time to actually do it. So I would stop talking now and everyone can basically start implementing this. And so we can discuss your implementation together. If you have any problem, you can just call my name and I'll be here to solve your problem. So the time start now. We would get back and talk a little more about it by 7:55. I guess that's a little fair enough time to actually work on this. Then on Monday next week, we would have, I hope it's not because of classwork when I actually left now. And Levi, this is, could we call it a coincidence again? So we would have the solution to this next week, Monday. Luna, your, okay, thank you. So, as I said, if you have any problem, you can just reach out to me and I'll be here. So we would come back again. We would stay on the call, but we would come back to continue working on it and to discuss on it, or for me to see your implementation by 7:55. So until then, I'll be here on the call with you. Thank you. Yes, I'm muted. I'm muted because I expect everyone to continue working on this classwork. Did you get that? Okay. So I said if there are any questions, I can just come up to answer the question. Okay, winner, there's a classwork going on, and okay, great. Okay, never answered, and it's on the screen. No problem. You can just start it up. We'll be ending it by 7:55 too. So you have like approximately um 16 minutes, I guess. Although it's all right if you can't finish it now. Or we just check out what you have done or what you have attempted, even if you can't do it at all, what you have attempted.
Okay, no problem.
1 minute more. One minute more. Okay, time up. So winner and Levi, and one of you share your screen. Let's start with winner. What have you been able to do? So I'll stop presenting, and I would like to hear what you have been able to do. So can you share your screen? Winner, can you hear me? Winner? Okay, I guess winner is probably not there. So Levi.
I can hear
Okay,
you. I'm here.
okay. So what's up? What have you been able to do? Let's see.
I've not I've not been able to do much. Oh.
Yeah, you can share your screen and show us what you've been able to do.
Mm, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Are you writing it with a text?
I'm writing on Google Docs.
Okay, so can you explain what you have done?
Okay. I don't know much, oh, but I was only trying to do what I understood from what we did yesterday. But I don't know if it's
Okay,
correct.
okay. So explain what you have done.
Okay, so I just I cannot really explain it to. I'm having
Okay, no,
difficulty. Yes, but I don't know. It's just what I'm having in my head that I was trying to bring out, but I really cannot explain it.
okay, okay, no problem. Levi, what's up? You can stop sharing your screen. So from next class, you can basically learn how to um do it. So Levi, can you share your
Yes,
screen?
thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so my network is not very good right now, but I've uploaded it to a gist. So can I like drop the link to your gist, then you can share
That
your
is in
screen
fact
anytime.
excellent. That's
All
in
right,
fact
hold
excellent.
on.
Excellent. Okay. Okay. So sorry, you can see it, right? So can you
Yes,
explain
I can.
everything to okay, this is actually
Okay,
quite
so after like importing necessary modules, I implemented the first function to initialize the token. It initializes it and returns the admin address, which is the creator of the token, the name of the token, which is a string, and the ticker, like the symbol or whatever. So I created a function to mint the token, the function links the token to the address that calls this function. I made the token transferable, so it's just like simple logic that transfers the amount of the token you put from the address you provide to another address. Then I created another function that returns the balance of a token holder when you input the address of the token holder. Then the last two, I'm not quite sure I implemented that correctly, but I wanted to implement like a, what are they calling it, a function where if you put in the token ID, it can return the name and the ticker. But I'm not sure I did that. I don't think I did that well. So I'm still kind of working on those last two.
I would say this is an excellent job. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. I'm actually very impressed with what I have just seen. So well done. So thank you very much for implementing this. And yeah, the final solution, we would be working on it on Monday, which is our next class. So thank you very much for joining the class and in fact doing the class work. I really appreciate every one of you. And I will stop the